Every machine has to know its capabilities. That's why configuration panels exist in machine control programs. Without this, our machines would do some random movements or not work at all. In this video, I'll guide you to the most crucial configuration features of MyPlasm software. This is a general guide for what each setting is responsible for. Every machine is different and you have to set the values according to your machine. Let's start with the basics. How do we actually access the configuration panel? To do this, you have to press the cog icon in the top right corner. This opens up a separate window containing the entire configuration of your program divided in 4 tabs. Let's start with the first one, which is electronics. On this tab, as the name suggests, we configure the electronics of our machine. In the top left corner, you can see the control board we are using. This represents our controller. In this part of the electronics tab, we only configure the inputs. Below each input, we have a little checkbox. By selecting it, we reverse the logic behind the specific input. By default, it's defined as NO, which means normally open. When we tick the box, we change the logic to NC, which means normally closed. This is crucial mainly when configuring the home inputs. The state of your sensor depends on the physical configuration. For example, you can have an induction sensor which is normally open, when no metal is in front of it. This is fine if you are homing by moving, for example, your gantry to the sensor. It detects the metal parts of the gantry and triggers, telling the controller something happened. But what if you have it configured the other way? You detect the home signal when the induction sensor loses the metal part in front of it. In this case, you have to tick the box below its input so the controller knows it has to wait for the open circuit, not for the closed one. Below we can see the micro-stepping motor drivers. This is also a very important section of this tab. Here we have to set the interpolation of each motor, X, Y and Z axis. This must be the same value as you've set on the stepper drivers. You can learn how to set the interpolation in my old video here. As you might have noticed, there's also a little colored box next to the interpolation settings. This is directly related to movement parameters in the next tab. You have to make sure it's always green. If not, this means your movement sequences might end with half steps, reducing the machine accuracy. On the other side of the interpolation settings, we have a reverse box for each axis. You can select it if you need to reverse the motor movement of your axis. On the bottom, we have 4th axis settings. From the list, we can select a few options: inverted Y, inverted X, and rotary axis. The first two you use when you are using 2 motors for this axis. In the case of the 4th axis, output is for your 2nd motor. We also have an option to enable the rotary axis, about which I will talk in a different video. On the right section of this tab, you can see the plasma interface, which is basically a THC. I will explain in detail what THC is, what it does and why you need it in a different video. Below it, we have a gamepad function which we'll skip for now as it's not crucial. Let's now move to the next tab, which is called Machine. Here we have some crucial settings we need to set before running the machine. At the top we can see the XY axis moving parameters and Z axis moving parameters. In both of these sections we can see maximum movement speed, hand speed, safety speed and acceleration. Maximum speed is obviously the absolute maximum axis speed which machine will not exceed. Hand speed is the speed at which machine moves when you manually move the axis. Doesn't matter whether you use the keyboard or the arrows in the program. Safety speed is the speed at which axis move when you hold Ctrl on your keyboard and move an axis using arrows on the keyboard or in the program. If you hold Shift and press arrows, the axis moves at the maximum speed. Acceleration is another very important setting. If your acceleration is too slow, sharp turns when cutting might be burned and end up round. If your acceleration is too fast, you risk your machine to lose accuracy or steps. Very important note. The higher the value, the longer the ramp, which means the acceleration is slower. Lower value means the acceleration is faster. Below movement sequences, we have soft limits and homing settings. Soft limits are, as the name suggests, limits of your machine. Some machines do have two sensors per axis telling the controller the axis limits, the maximum and the minimum position. If your machine has only one limit switch, here you can define how far your axis can move without causing troubles. In the homing section you can define at what speed your axis should home. For the X and Y axis you can reverse the homing direction, the minimum distance or the maximum distance when reversed. Z-axis always homes to the maximum. At the bottom we can see the movement or gear parameters. In short, this is where you set the axis movement per motor revolution. I won't go deep into this here because this topic deserves a separate video. Let's jump to the next tab called Functions. Here we can see the Z-axis initial height, which again deserves yet another video. Here you can set the touch ohmic sensor, floating head switch and their settings. This is a very useful feature but needs to be understood very well so we don't destroy our torch. To the right we have two additional settings, Objects and Park. In the Object section you can set to what size objects you want to apply the cutting speed to. The Park settings on the other hand are very useful when you have some defined position for your machine. We can see a table with columns of X, Y and Z and rows for F1, F2, F3, F4, start and finish. Here you can set where you want your axis to move when you press the F keys. For example, when you press the F1, the X and Y axis will stay in place and the Z axis will move to its maximum position. In the start and finish rows you can set where you want your axis to move at start or finish of the cutting job. For example, if you want all your axes to move to maximum position after cutting, you can set this as shown. Below we have extra individual functions. You can treat this as advanced settings which we'll skip for now. This is also a material for a different video. Last but not least we have the software tab. This one is for once a pretty simple one. Here we can set the language of the program, create a backup copy of our configuration, load the configuration, restore backup and restore factory settings. I highly recommend creating a configuration file once you finish configuring your machine. There's nothing worse than losing hours of work due to corrupted file. Well, this was a journey. But now I'm sure you will be able to configure your CNC plasma table by yourself. For now that's everything in this video, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.